Yes! Yeah! It's so good! Oh, yeah. What is up, boys and girls? Welcome back to another special episode for Project Z4 M Coupe. Did we name this? Gentleman's.
No, I don't think we ever do name
my Gentleman's Hoonmobile.
We do always ask if we name it every time, though.
It's funny that I only think of this in the opening of a video while we're filming. Anyhow, so if you've been following along in the build series, we have removed the exhaust manifolds and replaced them with a set of Super Sprint stepped V2 race headers. We are taking a little break from that because we have to modify the crap out of this mid-pipe section here to fit. So we're switching over gears here to start the Turner Motorsports CSL Airbox install. This is a very, very nice unit, and I'm surprised for the money because this is more competitively priced than pretty much everything else that's out there. Just how nice this is. Can you get a look in there at those carbon velocity stacks? We'll be able to show this more when we,
Ooh.
Yeah. We'll take this apart because it'll probably make installation easier anyways. But nice and light, beautiful weave on the carbon. And even the weave between the two sections lines up, which is nice. That's nice awesome. Touch. I'm really excited for this. This is finally going to give the M Coupe that theater that it deserves to have, and you'll be able to hear the ITBs because this car has factory ITBs, individual throttle bodies from it. And it's actually my third ITB car. Kind of rotary meow.
Oh, yeah.
Matt's confused.
I was confused.
Yeah, rotary meow is back. But it also makes power. I mean, we're going to be getting rid of the mass airflow sensor and switching over to an air intake temp sensor, and we get this nice big opening at the end here. So this is going to be a really cool modification. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
I don't think this is that complicated of an install, so we're not going to show you every little detail, but like always, we'll show you the important bits so you can reproduce this work at home yourselves. So let's dive into this. All right, guys, we have the entire factory airbox assembly out. That actually went a lot quicker than I thought it was going to, which is surprising because pretty much everything I feel like on a German BMW takes a lot longer than a equivalent Japanese car. There's a lot of miscellaneous stuff happening down here below this, so it looks like if you were ever gonna have to replace any of these items, alternator, starter, any of this stuff, the airbox is coming out for sure. So I did some weighing of everything. The whole complete factory airbox assembly, which is kind of chunky, is 14.2 pounds, and the whole CSL with all the hardware accessories is 8.2 pounds. So we're saving 6 pounds on the whole airbox assembly. I mean, it's not monumental, but it's something, and I will take it. So nothing really to note special other than the factory clamps that are actually at the throttle body. You have to break them off. And I just used a little, if you saw in the time lapse there, come on, focus. I use this little guy to hook underneath there and just pry it apart, and they separate, and then you can remove them. Once you have all of them free, I found it was best to just wiggle the airbox up and down. And I didn't notice this, and I don't think I broke anything, but there's a vacuum guy right down on the very bottom of the airbox. So when I pulled this out, this just got disconnected. I didn't realize that was there until afterwards. I did realize that there was a 10mm nut here and here, and then this larger vacuum hose right here that have to be disconnected. So I missed that one guy. Luckily it didn't break. So when you are taking yours out, make sure you get those connections. Now we're just gonna reverse and put the beautiful CSL airbox in. So another thing before we put this in, I separated the snorkel from the airbox itself. I just wanna take a moment to show and appreciate the beautiful carbon fiber velocity stacks that are inside the Turner airbox. These are gorgeous, and if you compare these to the OEM units, these are plastic. I don't know if I can really see them because it's so dark in here. Let me see if I bump this up. No, it's just too dark. Just not as nice. These are very smooth, very nicely shaped. So kudos to Turner in doing this airbox. They did a great job. All right, boys and girls, we are done with the Turner Motorsports CSL style airbox install. And boy, does she look pretty. Very, very pretty. So a couple installation notes that I want to talk to you guys about. This is more geared towards the Z4M. This hose that they give you is meant for the E46 M3, and it doesn't have this extra vacuum extension here with this. I think this looks like a check valve and some sort of a solenoid sensor in it. That's unique to the Z4M. So Turner just gives you this hose here. I had to cut one of the clamps off and cut the hose off, the factory plastic hose off of that piece right here, because it has this extra fitting on it to go to this other vacuum line and move it over to there. All you have to do to remove it is take what a bad angle there. Let's see. Take a razor blade and just slit it down on the edge here, and then it'll pop right off. But this is what the factory piece looks like with the flex hose there. Other notes, the oil tube dipstick does not fit in the factory location anymore, so I have mine removed. I positioned it over to this side. I made a rubberized stop there, so if it does chafe on the shock mount, it won't do anything. It won't scuff the metal. And then I just have it zip tied off with some tension there. I guess if you buy a CSL style dipstick, you have to remove the snorkel portion of the airbox in order to check your oil. So I want to be able to check my oil regularly. That's kind of silly, I think, to have to take the airbox off. And other than that, I just cleaned up all the routing and zip tied wires off so they're not really flapping around and they're not rubbing on anything. But yeah, overall, not too bad of an install. Oh, one thing also to be cognizant of is that on your throttle linkage, these rotate, so when you're positioning your hose clamps, make sure they're not going to interfere with them. I kind of just put everything at the 12 o'clock position here and tightened it down after everything was set in place. So the MAF delete is extremely easy with Turner's kit. They give you an adapter harness, so it's literally just plug and play. It plugs into your factory MAF sensor connection right here, and it just runs a wire to your intake air temperature sensor supplied with the kit right to here. So overall, it's amazingly impressive that the kit was as bolt-in as it is. So kudos to Turner. They did a great job with this, and again, at the price point, it's like, how could you argue it? They knocked it out of the park with it. So I'm super happy with it. I can't start the car. I'm waiting for a tuning session, which is going to be happening tomorrow with HTE Performance. He's going to remote in, flash my ECU with his base map tune, I guess, and then I'll see how it runs off the shelf, and then eventually we'll try to get our way down to the dyno to do a remote tuning session with them and see what the car ultimately makes for power. All right, we are back, and I have Matthew in the garage here with me tonight. So it's been a couple weeks since the last segment there that we were filming with the tuning. I ran into some issues with this. So first tune came over. It did start the car. It did allow me to drive it, but as the car got warmer and warmer, it started running really bad, and it was hiccuping. My dash lights were lighting up all over the place. The temperature rev limiter would go down to 5,000. My oil temp would drop down. Like, it was screwing up stuff on the car. And on top of that, you know, throttle started cutting out. Like, I barely got the car home, like towards the end of the test drive. Other issues in it was that I couldn't press the brake and the gas at the same time, so to heel toe, it completely cuts the throttle, which I guess that's a safety parameter that's built into the factory ECU. Once the MAF is no longer in play, that's like a safety feature that's enabled, and you have to remove that. So in the midst of going back and forth with the tuner, it came to light that the CSL temperature sensor here uses a different scaling map than what the Z4M is used to. So I went ahead and bought which would hopefully make sense for some of these problems, because as the car kept getting hotter and hotter, it was really bad. And even after flashing the stock tune back on, I couldn't even restart the car until it cooled off. So that's where, like, I'm hoping it's just the air temp sensor scaling that was screwing everything up. So what I did was I bought a E46 M3 air temp sensor, and I relocated it over to here. Matt, you're gonna have to come in. This is, I guess, is common practice because this area gets hot. I don't think it gets airflow as the air enters the box, because the air kind of comes in and goes this ways and doesn't really hit this pocket right here. So I have a regular, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it down here. It's in my intake duct. IAT sensor, because this uses a different, it's not focusing, my hand in the way.
Yeah.
I don't want to take it out because it's just in there, but just take my word. It's a regular E46 M3 sensor. It has a screw-in type bung on it. It doesn't have the clip-in type that the CSL box uses. But this scaling map is supposed to match the Z4M's stock ECU. I relocated it right to here. That's the factory intake duct. It's threaded in there, and I put a zip tie around it because in my ITV Miata, I have my temp sensor dangling off of the firewall to the back of the throttles, and it's fine, right? So there's even kits that people sell to relocate your factory intake, well, to separate the air temp sensor portion from the factory MAF and relocate it because they claim that there's too much heat soak there, and the car starts pulling timing and stuff unnecessarily quick. So I put the sensor in, got an updated tune, and flashed it on, started the car. Before I even got to the test drive, I hit the brake, hit the gas, dead. Told him this in the midst of that tuning session, and he just gave up. And I respect that, because it's like he just admitted he doesn't know the problem, he can't fix it, and he refunded my money. So moved on from him, went to the guy that I had originally in mind, which was Randy from Epic Motorsports. His tuning package is more than double the cost of the HTE one. But from what I've read on the Z4 forums is that they figured out they have that issue resolved with the not being able to heel toe. Evolve Motorsports is another one that I think that has that sorted out as well. I know they had problems in the earlier days years ago, but I think they got that fixed. I went with Randy because they've done some pretty high horsepower factory engine S54s. And so he was who I originally had in mind when I was doing this project. I wanted him to make me a race header because he definitely made the best header for these engines. So new air temp sensors in. I got the map from Randy. I'm going to show you real quick what's required to flash it. And hopefully everything works and Matthew and I can go rip this thing around and actually hear it.
I am so excited to hear this thing.
Yeah.
I've been dying waiting to hear this thing.
I'm excited too. So let's hook up my laptop and connection to the car, and then we will, I'll show you what's required to flash the map. It's pretty simple.
Awesome.
All right, so I have my new map downloaded. This is the software that Randy sent me. It's their Epic MSS 70 remote tuning application. I'm connected with a Beamer Geeks, oh god, a DCAN, I think it's D to FCAN cable. I'm not sure what it is, but anyways, it's for the OBD2 port, goes to USB. So we're gonna key on the ignition. It's also recommended to have your battery on a tender anytime you're doing anything with the ECU like this. Don't mind my antique radar detector that came in the car. Because it does, the first time I flashed the map, it took a good 30 minutes. And
oh, wow.
You know, you hear, it sounds like the fuel pump is running, like something's just like sloshing in the back. It's a noise I've never heard this car make. But anyhow, so we're gonna open up the software here. And before you get a map from them, you use this software. So you open it up, keys on for the ignition, I'm connected. You identify, make sure that it's reading the ECU.
Heard something.
Yeah, so like that's it initializing or whatever it's doing. Okay, so we got a good read on the ECU. So what you do first is you just do a backup and let that run. Obviously have the car plugged in. You send that file over to Randy. He makes his adjustments to it. He sends you back your tune file. So we are going to flash. Okay, we're gonna load a file up. So here, here's the new one. Right here, right? Yep, date stamp is today. Gonna open. Looks like we're ready. Now, I don't know if I do flash tune or flash full. Probably do flash full, right?
What does it say when you hover over it?
Flash is the loaded full bin with RSA bypass applied. I'm gonna do the full. And this is where this one may actually take a little while. So we're just gonna do it. And ready, the car's plugged in, make weird, awful noises.
Oh, I heard the slosh.
Yeah, but it runs it like constant. Or maybe this one doesn't do it. The other, oh yeah, there it goes.
Oh yeah, there's fuel squirting in there.
But is that fuel or is that just like?
I'm guessing it's fuel going back into the tank from the return.
It's weird, right? That runs the whole time.
Oh, weird. It's got to be what that sound is, because I don't know.
I was like legit like nervous that the car, like even with my tender on there, I was like, man, is this gonna like kill, you know, like just kill it to where even the tender can't keep up?
Yeah. So if this is gonna take a while, we'll probably just pause it.
Yeah,
right?
we'll come back. All right, it's done. It has you turn the ignition off for at least 10 seconds to reset the ECU, which I did. So
here we go.
Moment of truth here.
Rocky Mountain radar.
Shut up.
X-band.
X-band.
It sounds like it's saying gay band.
KA band.
Yeah.
That's the one that always used to be used right by the cops, is the KA band.
Probably, yeah. It cycles through all of them. All right, ready?
Yep.
It's a little rough, but it's straight out.
Yeah, it's okay. Might be just learning the sensors real quick.
So, do we think that throttle and brake are gonna work?
I mean, that'll be your, if that was the obvious thing that was the issue every time, you might as well try that.
Rocky Mountain radar. X-band.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Ooh,
It
it's
revs.
working. So that works. I have a check engine light, but it might have been because I started the car with the stock tune, so maybe I'll go clear that or see what it is.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
Well, we got to road test this.
Oh yeah, finally it's time.
Oh boy! Inline 6 ITBs, baby.
Here we go.
Okay. So we had a ground disconnected. The car was behaving all weird and stupid once it warmed up, and I didn't know what the hell was happening. It was stalling, throttle was cutting out.
It was the ground sensor for the sensors on the exhaust side. So like O2 sensor, EGT.
Just into the head. It was off the harness that sticks out of the engine cover a little bit. So I guess the first guy his tuning was probably fine.
Yeah, it could have been okay.
Other than he just didn't have the brake and the gas thing sorted out.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know if that would have been resolved or not with this ground.
Right. But we connected the ground and...
Oh, she's way happier now.
It has a nice noise. It's only a little bit louder.
Yeah.
I'm sure with load and full throttle, we're going to hear the throttle bodies. You have to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The Airbox is still going to mute them a little bit. Not mute them, but like it's blocking the sound and sending it forward. Yep. But it's going to allow it out of the front of the inlet for the Airbox. As far as the exhaust goes, so this is now the Super Sprint headers with the custom resonated Section 1 that Quinn and I made. And, you know, from an exhaust volume, like this is beautiful.
Oh, it's super quiet and smooth, and
no drone. It's like one notch louder than what the stock Z4M exhaust is, and there's no buzziness, no raspiness.
Yeah, it sounds good. I can't wait to hear this thing under load.
All right, we're gonna go for a ride.
It's warmed up too, by the way.
Yeah,
like, there's a lot of warm up time.
We were warming it up
that's not on
generously before.
Because it's how cold is it outside? It
cold.
says 38. But,
it's colder
but
than that.
We were in the garage.
Yeah. Oh, this is exciting.
I know. I'm so excited.
I've been so excited. Like, you know, like when you look at a project and you see the vision, you're like, man, I just want to like drive it and experience that theater and that noise.
It's about to happen.
I know. You know what a like tease it was like when I was like down after I put the Airbox in? I stared at this thing in my garage for like 2 weeks, and almost every time I walked by it, and I purposely left the hood up because like the Airbox in there just looks proper.
Yeah, it does. We got to get the CSL stickers on there.
Oh yeah, we got to change the Airbox stickers.
Sensors could still be getting learned.
There's a little hesitation there.
How are the blips? Sound good?
That's just the temperature for the outside temp reading.
Okay.
I don't want to. I'm gonna roll this stop sign because just in case I'm gonna put the clutch in. I just want to. If it's gonna stall, I'm gonna have some speed so I can pop start it.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll do it. We'll do it now. Clutch in. No weirdness.
None at all.
I mean, it cruises wicked quiet. I'm gonna roll the windows up.
It's so quiet.
This is like, that's what's so cool about this car though. It's like a little miniature Grand Touring car.
Yeah.
I love Grand Touring cars, but I say this all the time, like a broken record. I just hate the weight of them. And like this, I feel like is like perfect because it has that Grand Touring car feel with the big giant long hood, and you know, but it's a smaller, I shouldn't say lightweight because you would think this
way
30. Well, after the Airbox and stuff, I think we're around 32.15, 32.20.
Okay, that's not like crazy bad.
No, but it's like you look at the size of the car.
I know you think it should be like S2000 weight, or even at least like RX-8 weight.
I would say like, you know, 2,900, 3,000 pounds in that vicinity. But I can't see why this won't be an iconic car one day, because it has the iconic engine from the E46 M3 that people love.
Yeah.
But you have the smaller, lighter, more nimble, and way more rigid chassis.
Yeah.
You know, and they have a look that's like unlike anything else in the BMW catalog, which I think is like, that's what brought me to this car. It doesn't look like a typical 3 Series, you know?
Yeah. Can I just say right now, because it's cold, like BMW has the best heated seats on the planet.
Oh yeah, these things are awesome. I'm not even gonna like change these seats because they're definitely heavy, but they're comfortable. They look good in the car, and like their power. I think we're good, man. I think this thing's ready to rock and roll here. Oh yeah. And that was only the 6. I'm just, you know, easing into it here.
Oh man, that sound.
Sounds good.
That's perfect.
Throttle tip in is nice and crisp.
I'm having some deja vu right now because this is like the same road we took your FD on when you made the exhaust sound so good.
Yeah.
And I'm having like that same feeling. Envy over your cars again. Oh my God.
I can't wait till we get your FD running.
I know. I'm working on it.
I saw your Instagram post the
oh,
other day.
I ripped apart the front suspension.
It looked awesome, man.
Finishing it. Yep.
So once we get through this little section here, we'll open it up. I think we're good to hammer on it.
Yeah.
I should have worn my driving shoes. I have my goofy sneakers on. Yeah.
It's so good. It's quick. That sound.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I will say, like, this feels healthier than the quick test drive I had on the other tune. Like, it feels more powerful.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me go up to, we'll do 3,500. Oh, yeah.
So good.
That feels awesome. That feels real
What an
good.
awesome engine.
Hell yeah. These are those new Kumos.
Oh, yeah?
Airbox sounds good, huh?
That sounds proper.
Hell yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, she's spicy.
Ready. Quinn,
Met you.
that car's fun.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm really happy with it.
Yeah.
It's got the proper theater now.
Yeah.
That just really changes the experience. But dyno says, I would say it's probably about 30 horsepower more.
Yeah.
The last dyno was 292. So I would say it's somewhere in the 320 to 330 range. But again, it's cold. My rev limiter is 7,500, so that could be also part of the reason why that last 500 RPM could be leaving that meat off on the table. So I got to go back to Randy and just let him know. Rev limiter is supposed to get raised to 8,200 from the stock is either 79 or 8,000. But loved it. Matt, you drove it. What'd you think?
Oh my God, it was awesome. It's been a while since I've driven a European 6-cylinder. Drove an older Porsche a long time ago. It was nice to get a proper hoon in this thing. Like it made the right sounds. I love that induction sound. It's like it's a great car. Like I don't know. I don't know any other way to say it. Like it drives really nice and like you said, the theater, like it's just awesome. It makes the right sounds. It buzzes perfectly. Like
this is was a pretty easy. Well, I guess I shouldn't say easy because I had to modify the crap out of that mid pipe. But
yeah, without the mid pipe.
Overall, for like a little project, whatever you want to call this, right? I don't want to call it a build because it's not really a build. But it was quick and easy, right? So I added TEs to it, suspensions dialed in, airbox, header, mid pipe, tune, those some of those parts just really created a lot in the final product, and I'm so happy for that. So I bought two versions of the M-Power sticker, silver, which is what comes on them traditionally and what everybody has, and he had gold as an option. Etsy, I don't know who the hell guy was, but I was like, you know what, maybe gold would be cool, a little bit different. You guys, if you follow GQ Armor, you know that gold and black is a color scheme for us. So we laid our sticker. Hopefully this peels correctly, but we want to do the reveal on camera here.
Yeah, the backing came off nicely, so that's usually a good indication that this is going to peel off nicely. Looks like a nice high quality sticker.
I don't know, man. I think I like the gold.
Yeah, I like the gold too.
Nat, you didn't like the gold. It's okay. You could tell.
No, I said it's like gold wheels. Like silver is a safer bet, but gold can look cool though.
I wanted something a little bit different.
Yeah.
Like everybody does the traditional silver. I don't know. I dig the gold. I think that's kind of like a nice little elegant.
Yeah, I like it.
M-Juice.
I would have liked the silver too.
M-Juice is potent. So here's what I'll close this off with. All my cool friends now, Tommy, they're all moving in the 911s. And I really have a hard time wrapping my head around the prospect of a 911. Matthew and I talk about this all the time.
Yeah, wait, every single time we get together pretty much. Like FR cars rule.
Do I think the 911 is a cool car? Absolutely, right? There is some level of presence and theater just in the shape of the classic, like, iconic 911. And even like Tommy's 996, I think, is really cool for what it is.
Looking out the rear view mirror and seeing that arch
Yes.
of the rear wheel, like, that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty epic.
Even like just your line of sight over the hood, because it slants down, but you see the bulges of the fenders, right? Like, it's just something about it. But I struggle to wrap my head around them for two reasons. Well, I should say three reasons. Number one is the cost. They're outrageously expensive for what you're actually getting in terms of a performance car. Number two is the reliability and just like the stupid things that can go wrong, and the fact that the engine's in the rear and you pretty much have to take it out to do anything major on it. Don't like that at all. But number three, and this is really my biggest holdback, because like I will deal with bullshit just like some people will deal a lot of bullshit in a toxic relationship if it's like really good, you know, like the other things are really good. But it's the rear engine aspect of it. Rear engine, mid-engine, every time I drive one, it's not how I like to drive. And like, I'm afraid that one, I'm gonna hate it. Two, I'm gonna crash it trying to drive it like an FR car, because I am a pure built-in bred FR car driver. Front midships are great. Love front midship, S2000, RX-7, RX-8, awesome cars. FR, true FR, this is definitely an FR car with this cowl, iron block cowl well above the front. But you know, this car is not a track car, it's a street car, and I really have it for the theater aspect, right? I want a car that's comfortable, can drive fast, can hoon, and be entertaining. And like, this checks all those boxes. And, you know, having experienced every configuration of 6-cylinder at this point, I like inline sixes the best. They sound the most like proper. They're super smooth because they're inherently balanced with the crank. You know, V6s, straight sixes, they all have a weird pulse order. I mean, the GT3 stuff is an exception, right? Those are marvel of engines, the newer GT3s. But they're $200,000+ cars. I don't know. Do you have $200,000?
No, I don't have $200,000.
Yeah. Even if I did have $200,000, I would not buy one of those, right? Like, I would invest that in my business. So, I guess to tie this all together with this long, drawn-out explanation, if you're still staying with us, I'm really happy I bought this car. I bought this car in 2013 for $28,400. And it's like, it's not going to lose value at this point. I didn't break the bank. I own it. And
low mileage?
Low miles. I got 44,000 on the clock now. It's not bad.
Yeah.
You know, and like, it's got a marvel of an engine, a limited slip diff, FR, giant wiener hood, little Grand Touring aspect going on to it.
NA theater.
NA theater, hoonability, double bubble freaking roof here. Love the double bubble. And a super rigid chassis. Probably way more rigid than any of those equivalent 911s. I don't know.
And it's not too much of a fat cow.
No, but it feels like it though. When you're on, well,
it feels heavier, yeah. But
I actually went to a grippier tire on here. We're rocking some 240 treadwear Kumo something 91s, PS 91s. I think this is what they're called. PS 91. These are. I think this is a good balance, because you saw I was able to still rip it sideways.
It sideways. Yeah, you're doing like second gear roll-ons.
Yeah,
and getting sideways. Yeah.
Yeah. This might be. Anyhow, if you could think of a better
alternative to a 911,
or this would be my pick. I guess this would
six-cylinder.
be my pick right now because of the money and everything I just said.
Yeah,
But,
for the money.
but Matthew's got a good point. What's the better alternative to the 911? Let us know in the comments.
Cayman.
Don't say Cayman. I've driven the Caymans. Cayman's a great car, but I mean, I will say this. I drove a GT4, second gen GT4, whatever the .2 is, with the 415 horsepower 911S engine on the street and on the track. And I will say that was the most underwhelming car. Like it literally shattered my whole like pedestal I put that car up on, because I was like, that may be a viable NSX alternative.
I think that's more of a big track car. Like I honestly,
I don't think it has the power for a big track. It felt slow. The gearing's long, and it does not.
That's why I say the big track stuff is because of the gearing.
If you get that thing out of shape, it is like does not like it. If you drive serious and you don't like doing that stuff, it's fine. It's great.
Yeah.
It's just very. It was so. What's the word? Clinical or cynical?
Clinical. Yeah, I know what you mean.
There's just like no. Like there's no theater.
It's not the type of driving you like to do. You like to get the car out of shape and control it.
The sound of that engine, it just sounded like a big stroked like V6. Like the pulses were crappy. Like I don't know. Like didn't love it. Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm going on a tear here, guys. Maybe we should save this for our next podcast as a topic. What's a better 911 alternative in 2024? All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you like this content, please give us a like and a subscribe. It really helps us. If you want to support our channel, we don't ask for donations. We just ask you head on over to slipanglemedia.com. Check out our web store where we are selling most of the tuner parts that we are installing into our own project cars here. And if we don't have anything listed, shoot us an email or a DM on Instagram. There's a good chance we can get it. We will extend our discounts as much as we can on it for you. And that's a great way to help support us and what we're doing. So thank you so much. We will see you all in the next one. Good night.